And let me start off, Finny. Let me show you what some real Niner fan gear real quick.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's check it out.
Uh-oh.
Bang, bang. Ooh,
We
what
got
is that?
that's Jerry Rice right there, number 80.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I see it. With the memorabilia card, too. That's how you know it's official. You see that memorabilia card, y'all? That's the official card. That's the certificate of what's the word I'm looking for?
Certificate of authenticity,
Yeah.
and shout out to my wife's late grandma, because my wife's late grandma and her grandpa were invited to Jerry Rice's house a long time ago. They went over to 2 parties and they got Jerry to sign that right there. You guys, I come from the Bay Area and whatnot, but just some basic Niners gear. You gotta have some Niners memorabilia if you rocking this one right here. Drew, you got to stop the three-peat, man. Everybody, everybody that dislikes Taylor Swift and the Swifties, lot of pressure. I'm gonna ask you guys, who got more pressure this weekend? Is it Patrick Mahomes going for the three-peat, or is it the Philly Eagles?
Well,
Who you going to first? Who you asking it first to?
I take it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Philly. I'm gonna say Philly. Pat been here before. It's his 3rd time. They know what to expect. Every game is different, but I'm definitely going with Philly. It's their first time out here. As far as the second Super Bowl, but as far as it's their first time out here, they trying to go get it. So I'm definitely going with Philly.
What about you, Finny?
No pressure on Patty. Patty's shown that he don't know what that word means. So, I mean, Philly gonna have to come out there and they gonna have to be up by more than 2 scores. Because if you leave him any time, he's like a basketball Jordan on the football field. He can do it with less than 20 seconds, bro. So yeah, I don't mess with Patty. Even though my neighbor got me to bet Buffalo this year. That week, so I did lose a lot of money on Buffalo. So, fuck you, Buffalo. I don't know if you can cuss on here, but fuck you, Buffalo.
Oh, that's all good. It's all good. This is an unfiltered sports show right here. And by the way, I'm gonna try something I haven't tried in a long time, guys. If you guys do feel inclined to call, I'm gonna put up the phone number here. We just tested it out just a moment ago. It might have a hard time for some of my guests to hear, but I think I'm gonna put that number right there if you guys want to call. Shout out Wiley Coyote, appreciate you. Let me check on that phone line right here if you guys want to ask a question to the panel. But I'm up here in Las Vegas, guys, and it was a big week for me, who primarily the focus of the show is covering the sport of boxing and the fight capital of the world. UFC has a big show tomorrow, but I feel like Drew and I are obsessed with boxing, and I know that you, Zelley, and of course, Finny, we talked about it recently when we saw each other about the potential for, Bud Crawford finally getting an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. And this week, we started off the show talking about, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, your boy David Benavidez, man. He had the incredible weekend in Las Vegas. Shout out to David Benavidez.
Oh, David, shout out to David. Let's go, Billy. Shout out to David. They rep Phoenix right, so let's go.
Absolutely. He represented, and he's becoming a killer in Las Vegas and a true showman. 12,000 seats sold at the T-Mobile. Now, it holds 18,000, but since I moved to Vegas, I'm almost here 2 years. I've been to every one of his media events, and he's consistently been growing his fan base from MGM Grand to Mandalay Bay, now headlining the T-Mobile. He's getting up there as a viable threat to Canelo Alvarez. Everybody knows, and a lot of people think, that Canelo's avoiding the Mexican monster. Facts, right, Drew?
Big facts. Oh,
half Mexican, half Ecuadorian.
Drew, you sleep.
Yeah, half Mexican and half Ecuadorian. We should have been still talking about David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, but of course, the drama queens and all that. And now we have a new player in boxing, Turki Al-Sheikh, who recently bought Ring Magazine. Used to be the premier boxing publication magazine. People actually used to collect them, like Lowrider Magazine. You actually used to get that shit in the mail. He bought it now. He's been controlling the narrative, and they fucked us all up. They fucked up all boxing fans this week because right away, Finny, we talked on Monday, and you said, you saw that Canelo was going to fight. It's official, right? They put it out there. Canelo is fighting Terrence Crawford. 2-3 days later, 2-3 days later, they say that shit is off. It's a hot mess. That it's off, right, Drew?
First of all, I look at it like this. For the first question, the Chiefs have more pressure because it's legacy and everything. They lose, they're never going to get a chance at a three-peat again. We're going to look at it like that. We may see them probably win one more Super Bowl after that.
Hey, can y'all hear Drew? We could hear him, but they're saying that you're muted. Let me check it. That's not good.
No,
Is anyone?
I hear Drew now. I didn't hear him at first. I heard that, and that was a great point. That is a lot of pressure because you won't get to. They already accomplished 2 of them, so I mean, to get to this point to get 3-peat is probably not gonna. I don't know though. They still got Patty. But go ahead, Drew. My fault.
If you look at it like this, the team that had the number 1 ranked defense that's in the Super Bowl, that's ranked number 1 in total defense, is 11-3 all time in the Super Bowl.
You're one of those guys, huh?
The Eagles are 7-0 on turf this year, giving up 11.2 points a game, and they're the number 2 scoring defense, but on turf they're 7-0, giving up 11 points a game. Now, let's look at it like this: Jalen Hurts is 14-2 against the AFC, 14-1 in the regular season, may I add. Nobody gives this dude some credit. They try to give him Lamar Jackson credit, having that great record against the NFC, but his 2 losses against NFC teams have been Daniel Jones at quarterback and the new bad man Jalen Hurts this year. They don't give this dude enough credit because I tell you the truth, we beat them on the road in Baltimore, number 1. Number 2, if we look at it like this, he's already beaten Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. None of the other quarterbacks in the league has really come close to doing that. And what happens Sunday? He beats Patrick Mahomes again. What happens? Do we praise this dude as a top 5 quarterback for beating Pat Mahomes twice? One to get to win the Super Bowl, and to beat his so-called competition. I think we got to look at it like this: Jalen Hurts may solidify himself as a top 5 quarterback after this weekend.
Zelley said pause.
Big pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but you're going crazy here. You're throwing out a lot of numbers. You're throwing out a lot of stats. You said he's beaten them twice. This is the Super Bowl. We don't want to hear about all that rah-rah shit during the regular season. He's never beat this man in the Super Bowl. This is a different type of game.
Ooh, I see Zelley might be going for the Chiefs.
No, I'm a neutral guy. You know what I mean? Okay. I really don't even know. I just want to see a good game. I don't even know who I got as it's right now. It depends on how my money, where my money gonna go, and I'm really counting on my squares. But my man is doing a lot of regular season stats. This is the Super Bowl. It's a different type of game.
Well, Jalen Hurts has been great in the playoffs this year.
I agree.
High percentage against the blitz. Like, let's look at it like this right now. When he played against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. If they would have won off of a bullshit pass interference call, he would have been the Super Bowl MVP. Fast forward 2 years later.
See, if you're gonna be a fan, I'm from Arizona. Shout out to all my Arizona dogs out there. I represent everything Arizona. But I'm everything Arizona, but I'm a real fan. Like, you have to be a real fan. Like, when your team, they lost. I don't do the what ifs and all that other stuff. I'm sorry. Like, the Cardinals suck. There ain't no other way for me to put it.
Yeah, y'all had a pretty good season. In fact, you guys beat the 49ers twice this year?
Hey, man. It's not a good season.
Shout out to the Bird Gang. So are we gonna run with football right now, or are we gonna get this the boxing news out of the way? Because I was red hot.
Well, actually, I didn't like how Drew. I don't like how Drew fanning it on here. So I definitely he need to be addressed a little bit more. Yeah.
No,
so
but
I don't want him feeling that comfortable on Sunday. I don't want him feeling comfortable. There's no need to feel comfortable Sunday, sir.
It's facts.
We'll get to, and by the way, don't feel ganged up on Drew because I got a big Chiefs fan that's supposed to be coming in much later. So there might be. It sounds like there's going to be 3 against 1.
Nah.
The thing is, though, the thing is, yeah, that's crazy. So
But I look at it like this.
One, that's pause.
Hey,
but I am scared of Saquon. He is the difference there. Wasn't there 2 years ago. Saquon has been a monster this year. But the Chiefs, something about their defense. They always, Pat Mahomes get all the credit, but they defense make big plays all the time in these big games. So I expect them to come up with a couple big plays. And that's going to be the difference.
I am going to say a fact here about the Chiefs defense. They have not allowed a 100-yard rusher in the past 18 playoff games. And I'm going to say this right now. The streak's probably going to break. Because I expect Saquon to run for at least 130 yards on his defense. I think
bet it on a prop bet and lose.
That's actually a really good prop bet.
140 plus, bro. I put 140 plus.
I'm gonna get to those prop bets at the end of the day, but Saquon Barkley. Go ahead, Drew.
But I do look at it like this: the Chiefs' defense in the past, as they've been winning with defense the past 2 years. I think the offense has been a little bit shaky. And I think, like, every game this year, except for, like, maybe 1 or 2, they actually win by the skin of their teeth, but they found a way to win. But I look at it like this. Their defense isn't as good as it was last year, but they're still good. I just think that in some phases of their pass defense, there is holes in their pass defense a little bit. But if Sagnoa comes up with these blitz packages that makes it hard for quarterbacks to throw at him, but he also does take a risk. And that's why there is problems in the pass defense at times, because he blitzes out of nowhere and it leaves openings if a quarterback like a Josh Allen, like a Joe Burrow can see and everything. And that's like, you blitz, you actually giving up like on pass defense a little bit, depending on who you blitz with. And you can give up if you rush 5 or 7, you could give up the middle of the field, only one guy defending the middle of the field, and everything depending on what type of setup you have on your defense. But we also got to look at that's what you got to watch out for with the Chiefs on defense, because if you look at it, those blitzes out of nowhere are gonna come. And that's why you got to have your offensive lineman give you signals like, hey, watch out for 54 or something, watch out, whatever number's on there. And then it's confusing, like Fangio's coverages. They're confusing too. You think it's a cover 3, it turns out to be a cover 6.
Drew, looks like you got some support in the chat. Shout out to Lizzie Hatch, Veronica. We got Mom Food Planting Things. Let's see. Lizzie Hatch says, let's go Eagles, fly Eagles. Zelley, I've never been on a panel with you. Okay, there's a lot of people that be trying to push shit in the chat for a long time. Everybody got a nickname, but they try to say that you look like Beetlejuice. And I actually have fucking met Beetlejuice in real life, and you look nothing like him. Where am I going with this? My homeboy is actually really good friends with the actual Beetlejuice, guys. And I'm going to give you guys a quick story. Some of you guys have probably never seen this video, but in 2019 at the Rams, we hosted a football party for Howard Stern fans right here in Las Vegas. And I got a video of it. I actually used to book appearances for one of the Whack Packers. The guy, and by the way, Beetlejuice is a really cool guy. He actually used to box, and he's managed by Sean Rooney. The Rooneys are a big boxing family. My man, come on. If I could get him on, oh shit, that's not gonna let me play my video now, huh? I'll be damned. Anyways, that's ridiculous. I can't play the video. I'm gonna have to show this video out another time, Zelley. But yeah, if I can get the real Beetlejuice on Finny's show one day, I will actually do it. I actually get to have a few people I can get on Finny's show. He just got to ask me, and I'll make the effort to do that. But let's get back into this boxing before everybody gets heated up, because I see some fans of boxing. I see Veronica in here. She goes on a lot of the boxing podcasts. Y'all know that just moments ago, Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul are going at it on social media. It's getting pretty nasty. Let me just quickly play what Canelo did just moments ago, about an hour before the show. Canelo had some harsh words for Jake Paul.
Hey guys, don't pay attention in anything. In this fucking YouTuber. I just fight real fighters. Don't fucking around with Canelo.
Jake Paul has fired back. All right. So if you guys have just heard, okay, basically the Terrence Crawford fight was announced for September, right? And then they fucking 2 days later say the fight is off. And then yesterday, or I guess last night, they announced it's back on for September. And I was talking with you, Finny. Allegiant Stadium has already been booked for Cinco de Mayo and for September. So that was all capped. That set the internet on fire because everyone was like, wait a minute, that's pretty big news. We're going to have the first boxing event at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. Then they backtracked. It turns out that Jelly Roll and Post Malone already got that date. In fact, they have Cinco de Mayo, and the UNLV football team is playing Boise State, Idaho on Mexican Independence Day. So the good news is the Terrence Crawford fight is back on, Finny. And I've been thinking, that's probably the best time for you to do a meet and greet for your channel. It's probably the time for you to do Finny Fest. What y'all think about that? Finny Fest, Terrence Crawford
Finny Fest
versus Canelo. Finny Fest, Mexican Independence Day. You like it? You like that idea, right?
That sounds like I love it, bro. You're amazing, bro.
I also got another idea. Well, shit, let's just run this by you. I know you got your channel is what they call a criticism channel. It's not called there's a lot of criticism channels on YouTube, right? And you're at war or at beef with a certain other channel, right?
Reaction channel. We don't do a lot of reaction. The criticism.
Reaction channel.
It's a strong word. Okay, there we go. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. Well, y'all know the Italians got an even better version of football. And I feel like if he could set this up, because ain't nobody ever going to throw hands. But let's just imagine for a moment that Finny could actually compete in this, his team versus the other team. Let's just take a look at what this would look like.
Is this the sport where football came from? Calcio Storico Fiorentino originated in Italy and is a sport like no other.
Now, I can just imagine Team Finny
from football, rugby,
versus the other
wrestling.
team.
The sport was first played by the ancient Romans during
what
the 16th
an opportunity
century.
it would be to let all this aggression and steam out, right?
Team.
Right.
Look at that. Punching is allowed.
The only problem is the other armies are so small. It'd be like a 3-on-1. We deep, bro. We deep. And we don't even talk about that boy tragic. We ain't on here to do that, bro. We don't.
Nah, we not in here to do. But you should see what they sent me. I'm gonna send this to you. But somebody has proposed a flag football league, your team versus the other team, and you should see some of the suggestions of the 10 people roster for that flag football game.
Well, right now they'll be in trouble because Zelley can fly. Zelley can now. I don't know if he catch it, but I could throw it about 70 yards still. Zelley, I don't know if anybody in the YouTube community is fast as Zelley in our age bracket. Now you bring a youngster out there, then it's a problem. But I don't think none of those other teams have youngsters on their side. So I got Zelley in a race with anybody 35 and up.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Are girls playing in the league?
Oh, absolutely. Somebody already gave me this fantastic idea. Now, the NFL is playing 10 people per team right here. So these are some of the team members that have been suggested for Team Finny flag football versus the other team. Finny and Bubbly, Derek and Nurse Viv, Yayo. Yayo said he likes a lot of contact. Team Yayo in the house. What's up, Yayo gang? Jeepers be hitting the fucking gym. You seen his quads, man? You know, he wears them tight pants. He got some quads, man. I bet he's a good running back. Redub or Rydub And you still got 3 slots for your flag football team.
Yeah, you ain't even put Zelley out there yet.
Oh, we got Zelley.
Yeah,
I'm the number one
I got
draft
D.
pick.
Ware still a tight end. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the number 1 draft pick.
You got 2 more slots. If you like the idea, guys, put in the chat the other team members. Oh man, I know we said we was in them. Well, I ain't drunk enough to announce the other team.
I gotta have Archives or Big Titty JC. Either one of them. I'll take either one.
You still got one slot left, and it is co-ed flag football. This team versus the other team. Finny Fest weekend, Mexican Independence Day. Let's just let it all hang out, guys. Let's just do like the Italians do, and just let out all this aggression. In case you don't see how the Italians do it, they do it once a year. I just play that video. Play that damn video.
We got Mom Food as the cheer mom. Mom Food making all the cheer outfits for our cheerleaders. We got cheerleaders too. Shout out Mom Food for being cheer mom.
And the food. And the food. Don't forget the food.
Oh yeah, she
Shout
is
out
bringing
to
the little
Success.
orange slices. You know, the orange slices at halftime is key.
Veronica put up in the chat. She said, "McLovin." Damn, come on, McLovin. It is flag football, but I'm afraid the boy might get hurt. He might snap something. Listen, Jake Paul responded to Canelo Alvarez, and this is what I speculate, man. Canelo has signed an exclusive 4-fight deal that I just overheard ESPN Deportes. They follow and are insiders into the Canelo, his whole sphere. They think that Canelo is going to receive somewhere between $400 million to $800 million for the 4 fights.
As he should. As he should.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's big numbers.
Also,
Oh, Canelo, you puta. This fucking YouTuber. I just fight real fighters. Time to expose them. So we had a signed contract to fight. Here you can see Canelo's signature and my signature to the right. Claiming he's not fighting YouTubers. Bullshit. Look at the poster. We were announcing Tuesday, February 11th. Claiming he fights real fighters, but he's fighting Crawford, a 135-pound fighter, and running from a real fighter like David Benavidez, you bitch. The truth is you can be bought. You're a money-hungry squirrel chasing your next nut. The truth is these sports-washing shady characters are paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to stop our fight from happening because they couldn't fathom the fact that they can't create a bigger fight than me and you. Al Heyman has made you hundreds of millions of dollars, and you turned your back on him for this check. Disloyal. And you were begging to do this fight on pay-per-view. But I have loyalty. Loyalty to Netflix, doing the biggest numbers. And you call me a YouTuber, but you've never had a boxing match as big as mine. Remember you told my team that your daughter came home and asked if you were fighting Jake Paul? She was all excited. You said that was the first time your daughter's ever asked you about a fight. And you're screwing over all your Mexican fans by doing your fights in Saudi. It just shows what type of person you are. And I promise you one thing, Canelo. Any fight that you do this year, mine will be bigger. So go fuck off to your boss, you Ring Magazine employee, you pink and orange bitch. And oh, fix that herpy on your lip, you dirty puta.
Yo, that's fucking worse than I expected, guys. That is some fucking bullshit. Here, let me get an instant reaction, guys, because I actually didn't hear the whole thing. Like I said, that just came out. Let's start right here with Finny. You look like you got something to say. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal, but some of it was pretty true. I'm not a big Jake fan, Paul. I'm not a big Jake Paul fan, but he does bring numbers, which I don't know if it's good for boxing or not. But I mean, he does fill the seats up, and that's all that everybody's trying to do in boxing, which they kind of have a problem with that. So I mean, some of that he was saying was true, but I think he is signed up for the fight. It's gonna be a problem. Canelo's a real fighter, man, so he could really punish this dude. But I heard they was having trouble with the weight. What did they end up? Because Jake Paul, I think he weighed 210 for Tyson or something like that.
Right. So this is what I just read. This is a credible source, and the credible source is that they were in negotiation. This fight was already basically, you saw that Jake Paul showed some type of contract. They were deep in negotiation contractually, and at the last hour, they fell apart. Now, what I'm reading is that Jake Paul, who just fought 60-year-old, and shout out to Archives for saying, did you just fight a guy who was 60 years old, Mike Tyson? He weighed 227. And he most likely still weighs somewhere in the vicinity of 200 plus pounds. You know, he didn't just lose 27 pounds, he weighed 230. He didn't just lose that since he fought Mike Tyson in November. Canelo fights at 168 pounds. Canelo supposedly said, I'll meet you at 190. You know, and that's ballooning up for Canelo Alvarez. Apparently, he walks around at 190. He figured, I'll just work out. I don't got to cut weight. I'll fight you at 190 May 3rd. And Jake Paul said, nah, fuck that. I don't have any advantage. You know, you're a superstar. You're the best boxer in the world. 200 or nothing. And that's what I heard. That's why this fight fell apart May 3rd. Now, anybody who loves the sport of boxing is going to say that this is the most bullshit that boxing fans went fucking nuts on Twitter. Real boxing fans went nuts. Drew, what was your opinion? Zelley, what was your opinion when you heard that this was a potential fight?
You talking about are we talking about the Jake Paul, Canelo?
Jake Paul, yeah, they was announcing it for Cinco de Mayo. It was literally going to happen. The contracts were just about to get signed, and it fell apart.
Yeah, I know. It was official, and I was done with Canelo. I wasn't fucking with him no more. Because at that point in time, I'm a real boxing fan. I was a boxing fan before UFC fan. I grew up on boxing. Jake Paul ain't no real. Everything's a setup. I would have lost. What you gonna do? You gonna lose Canelo for the bag? Canelo did. Jake Paul, he did make some key points in there. Canelo didn't want to mess with Sheik. He was trying to stay away from the Sheik. But I don't know what Sheik and them, I don't know what they doing on the back end, but Sheik brought that bag what Canelo has always been asking for, and I'm so glad he did. It was originally a 3-fight deal. Canelo wanted to fight on Cinco de Mayo, so he said, okay, then that's when Jake Paul and them came into play. And I'm so glad he didn't do that. So what are you going to do? You going to fight Jake Paul, but you ain't going to fight Benavidez? Nah, he would have lost me. So I'm so glad he came through with the bag. I'm so glad he came through with the bag and made it a 4-fight deal to get that bum out there. She said Canelo only fights real boxers, and that's real shit. He only fights real boxers. I would have been done with Canelo because I wouldn't know if it was a setup or not. I wouldn't know.
Drew's no stranger. Drew's been accused of being a Canelo hater for many years on this show, but he defends himself. Drew, what was your response initially when you saw that Eddie Hearn had posted just 48 hours ago? Eddie Hearn, owner of Matchroom Boxing, he said it's official. What was your response?
It was the dagger of boxing. It was the final nail in the coffin of boxing as a sport, as a serious sport as it is. Like, I'm going to say this right now. Any pro, if you're not going to entertain a fight with David Benavidez, David Morrell as of right now, other fighters right now, but entertain a fight with Jake Paul, which he's only fought one pro boxer and he's lost to him in Tommy Fury, which Tommy Fury is very limited at best when it comes to being a boxer himself and everything. It makes me look at it as in you don't care about the sport that made you so much money, and you seriously are just trying to take low risk, high reward situations. And if you look at it like this, Jake Paul is nothing but a glorified YouTuber that his best wins are probably against UFC, broken down, really washed up UFC fighters that have no business doing MMA anymore, or NBA, or a retired NBA star that has no business fighting, or unfortunately, Mike Tyson, that we probably see clips of him working out, and he was really not really in shape to fight and everything. So I think Jake Paul has been offered a fight by multiple pro boxers, especially the IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois, and went on radio silence. And then recently, today, Andy Ruiz, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, which I'm be honest with you, that will go on radio silence. So Jake Paul is bad for boxing. Jake Paul wants to help put the nail in the coffin of boxing because fights like wants to help put the nail in the coffin because how bad the sport is right now. It's on life support because of mainly of fights on like PBC platforms. You're paying $80 to $90 a pay-per-view with bullshit cards and everything, and with like mismatches on it. But Canelo, I'm not a big fan of the Terrence Crawford fight. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not, because I don't want to see a guy being brung up 2 or 3 weight classes to fight 168 pounder. I wanted to see the Benavidez Canelo fight. I don't even care
So,
if he makes him come down to 168 now.
so can I
I
ask you a
just
question, Drew? Why do you think the Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez at this point?
tell you the truth. I always said the later he makes the fight, the more of a disadvantage should be because of his age.
Correct.
And if he
Not
was to make
necessarily.
the fight, if he was to make the fight at light heavyweight now, he will not beat Benavidez. If he makes the fight at 168, he will easily beat Benavidez because Benavidez cannot do that type of weight cut anymore. You can't go up from a division to go down to the division. And he always had trouble making 168. Let's put it out there right now. But I tell you this right now, another name in the play and the contract talk is Demetrius Bivol rematch. I'm going to tell you this right now. He will never beat Demetrius Bivol. It's just like, it's blood on the pulling, man. It's the money
It's a
right there.
mismatch.
It's a
Mismatch.
Who?
mismatch in skill, height,
Yeah.
power, right there. And Demetrius Bivol has all three on him. And that fight right there, it was not a close fight. It was a 9-3 fight for me. I scored that fight
Do,
9 rounds to 3 in Demetrius Bivol's favor. I thought
do y'all?
it was.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
That's
Drew.
good. I thought it was a boxing masterclass by Demetrius Bivol, how
Oh
he
yeah,
handled Canelo Alvarez.
he was too big. He was too big.
Wasn't he
Yes.
the underdog?
Yeah,
That
he
fight,
was the underdog.
heavy
Yeah,
underdog, right?
He no, actually, I think he was at least.
he
If
was
you
heavy.
if you
He was
look at it,
under.
it was a plus 250 at the time of the night of the fight.
Yeah, that's good money right there.
Yo, I'm just curious, Finny. Did this channel go over? Did the show go over to your channel, or did that
No, it
not work?
didn't.
It
It
didn't.
didn't.
Oh man, well we got almost 30 people in here. Don't forget to hit that like button. I do see my boy Mario from Infighting Hub was trying to get up on the panel. If you're available, homie, come on through, man. My homeboy Mario used to be a regular on the Boxing Voice, man. He's a great panelist. I had just posted up that thing, man. Andy the Destroyer Cruz, big old Mexican heavyweight former champion Andy Cruz. He had some words to say. He said, "Hey Jake, I heard all the shit you was talking, and I had just put it up really quickly here." He says, "I'm down to fight, brother. Let me know. It would be an honor for my fans and my Mexican people." There you go, Andy Cruz. And David Benavidez, speak of the devil, David Benavidez finally came out today on Instagram. He says, "Imagine if Canelo would just agree and fight me already. It's not about the money. It's about what the sport needs right now. And we owe it to the fans. Without a doubt, it will go down as the best Mexican shootout in boxing history. Let's give the
But
fans what they deserve." We
but you know,
300% confidence on this side, but I can't say the same for the other side. Drew, the last line in his statement is very important. He said, "We are 300% confident on this side, but I can't say the same for your side."
I think part of the reason why this fight hasn't happened is because Jose Benavidez just needs to keep his mouth shut about certain shit. Like you want to help your son make fights, but at the same time you can't disrespect somebody and expect them to help you make money. Like it works both ways and everything.
That happens all the
Like
time in
and
boxing.
like
I'm sorry for interrupting. That happens all the time in boxing. Each side disrespects each other.
yeah, but like his dad his dad fucks up a lot of. I think his dad and Samson, they really mismanaged David Benavidez's career in his whole career so far. And I think the best thing for him to do, leave PBC, fight twice or 3 times a year, go to Turkey, Alex Sheik, and make your money, man. Because as of right now, you're not gonna get the money you want fighting people on PBC because the limited people in your division when the big fights are outside of PBC. Now you are the mandatory to the winner of Better BF and Bevo. And then you talk about potentially moving up to cruiserweight to fight Zoto Ramirez. Why are you talking about moving up to fight Zoto? Are you gonna duck? that fight for the undisputed light heavyweight championship to go to a fight that I'm gonna be honest, they think it's winnable, but I don't think it's a winnable fight for Benavidez. I don't think he beats Soto at 200. So I don't even think he beats Benavidez or Beaver. I think if you look at it like this, I watched that fight with him and Morrell. Morrell did not fight his fight whatsoever. He tried to bang with Benavidez instead of trying to use angles like he normally does to knock out his opponents. And when he did those couples of times, he nailed him and he hurt him. And I think
Drew,
he should have kept
you
on doing
killing
that
me over here,
strategy.
Drew. You killing me. It was Morrell fought his fault. It's the same thing that happened when Canelo fought Floyd. When who was just doesn't he just fought Benavidez too? It was 3 years too early. That's
Well,
it.
that
He was
definitely did. That definitely has something to do with the Zelley experience. You know, the guy had only 11 pro fights.
that's it. And he still dropped him. He dropped that champ. That young boy dropped him. So Morrell, he just fought him too early. I understand. I hear all them names you're throwing out there, but at this point in time, Benavidez, he's up there. He- It's about money at this point. Like standing, and I know it should, but to get the best fights, the only person who's putting on the best fights and the top dogs is Sheik. The promoter's been fucking up boxing forever, and now that we got a promoter in here who, again, I don't know what they're doing in the background. I can't comprehend, but I know what one thing Sheik is doing. He's getting the top dogs to fight each other. What UFC's been doing since they came in the game. So all them other names, they was cool. Yeah, you can throw out the mandatory opponent. You could do all that stuff. But if you don't have a big Benavidez, he's at that point now where Canelo's the big dog. Like he gonna have to. You can fight Demetrius all you want to, but that'll help Demetrius. But is it gonna help Benavidez' pocket? Nah.
What's up,
It'll,
guys?
Hey,
it'll
Like
real,
Zelley is
like
cooking.
I
I just
look
want
at
to.
it.
I'm sorry, Drew. I just want to make sure everybody knows we got my boy Joe Booney from Canada on here, just joining us. Joe Booney. Hey, Joe, drop your sports channel from YouTube. My boy Joe's been at it, and he's got some great news. We're still talking about boxing, but we're gonna have Joe kick down some football knowledge. Joe, congratulations. You was telling me you just got a broadcasting job. You're now a commentator at your first gig, right?
I am, and thank you for letting me come on your broadcast today. It's absolutely a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to talk about the Eagles, Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
The best in the
shit.
world.
Well, we're going to get into that in just a minute. We're wrapping up this boxing conversation, guys. Joe, don't be bashful. Go ahead and drop the link to your channel in there so we can get some more subscribers over there to you.
Anybody that loves sports, you can check out my Instagram. Obviously, it's Joe the Fighting J, and on YouTube, it's Joe's Sports Channel. We talk about all sports. We interview broadcasters from all around the world, and especially we bring everybody and we welcome anybody that is welcome on the show.
Yeah. By the way,
congratulations, Joe.
Finny, there's a shitload of people that are in the Vegas community that probably watch your channel that are actually from Canada. Let me give a quick shout out to Fro14, Vegas YouTuber that I met this weekend at the fight, man. Me and Fro14 was kicking it at the fight, right? The Benavidez fight. He was out here, cool peeps. And actually, I was quite surprised because Fro14, Finny, had told Matthew Ross on his stream that person that you have a beef with was a liar and a cheater. And I'm like, how the fuck does Fro14 know? Well, I guess he's a fan of Finny. I guess Fro14. Shout out to Fro14 from Canada. Shout out to the Canada peeps.
Shout out to Canada. I still wore my Toronto hat tonight.
I appreciate it up here in Mississauga.
All right, so we're wrapping up this boxing thing. Really quickly,
Hey, before we go, can I ask you because I think that was Benavidez said that would be the best Mexican battle ever.
Yeah.
Just real quick, what do y'all think the best Mexican battle has been so far? Mexican on Mexican fighter.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. That is the best fight to this date. We just had a really good one. We actually had on the David Benavidez card, we had Angel Fierro from Tijuana in Mexico City. We had Pitbull Cruz. That fight was fucked. Did you saw that fight, Zelley? That shit was a banger. Pitbull Cruz. 1,400 punches.
But yeah, that was a good one. People always say
1,400.
this.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, can't be. Hey, Little Penny. Let me see. Can I not put a 6th person in here?
Well, here's a
But
question: Did
what
anybody
platform are you
watch
on?
that interview today with Turkey Al Sheik?
I didn't.
Hey,
Well,
hey, Joe. Can I get you to call back in just 2 minutes?
Absolutely. I'll call you back in 5.
Okay, I'm timed out. Yeah, I'm timed out real quick. I got someone from New Zealand that wants to chime in. Call back in just a few minutes. Thanks, Joe.
like the issue that I have with that interview, man, like he readily admitted to giving out false information, and I'm like, why would you admit that you're giving out false information? Like now, people are gonna look at you a little bit different. And say, yo, what's the truth and what's the lie when it comes
What
to
was the
future
info?
stuff? Like when he got interviewed by Mike Carpenter today, he's like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of give out false information a couple of days ago about the Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight and everything, and I'm like, why the hell would you say that?
Hey, shout out to Vegas Vet. He says Marquez versus Vasquez series. The trilogy was unrivaled. That was hands down one of the best fucking rivalries ever. And rest in peace because he just passed away at 46 years old about 3 weeks ago. I don't know, less than a month ago, he passed away. And in honor of his passing away, the WBC had created the belt that was on the line this weekend. It, kind of a fantasy belt, but the Aztec Warrior belt was on the line for the Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro fight. Pitbull Cruz now holds that. And to be honest, Vegas Vet, I'm gonna be real. Angel Fierro and Pitbull Cruz, man, those are two Mexican guys that could run it back. In fact, if the PBC is going to have this card, Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day, they need to run that shit back. Little Penny, good to have you, everybody. Little Penny, a longtime supporter, straight out of New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand?
How about 5?
Well, is that a Nonito Donaire? What's that poster on the right-hand side?
That's right. Good eye.
Did you know I saw Nonito Donaire last Wednesday, the day of the Benavides media workouts? I ran into Nonito Donaire again, and I asked him, I said, Nonito, who from the Bay Area is the next champion? He took about 2 seconds, and then he said, Flores. Flores, you remember Flores from Top Rank? He's going to be fighting on Pro Box on YouTube. Flores is his guy from Stockton, California. Dropped from Top Rank, but will be fighting free next week, I think, on Pro Box. Somewhere in the middle, he'll be headlining that card. And that's his kid, man. That's his guy. He's out here. He says he's going to be a world champion, even after being beat up by... he was beat up pretty badly by the 126-pound former champion.
Alvaro Lopez.
Yeah, Elvinado Lopez. Yeah, so a lot of good things coming back. But what's on your mind, homie? You heard about all the drama this week. A lot of drama with the Jake Paul, Canelo. And of course,
I gotta say something to my boy real quick.
Go ahead.
Little Penny, my condolences to Israel Adesanya's career, UFC career this past weekend or the weekend before, getting knocked out. New Zealand's native son.
Wait, you talking about Izzy?
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, I know. I seen it.
Yeah, gotta give condolences to the career man, to Little Penny, since he's from New Zealand.
Hey, that's what happens when you get that bag. When you get that bag, it happens to the best of them. You get that bag, and they lose that. Not, I don't want to say lose, but that hunger that they had to get up to be that champion. Some of them don't know how to maintain it, like the Floyds, like the John Jones, like.
Yeah, word. Hey, let me give the floor really quickly because Joe's calling back. And Little Penny's a Niner fan. Bang, bang, Niner fan to all my Niner fans in New Zealand. But what was your thoughts on everything you heard this week?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I am happy that his Turkey signed
Canelo to 4 fights.
Deal. Yeah, because to be honest with you, I've always thought that the reason why these exhibition fights exist, which Floyd started, by the way, in 2018, I think, is because these fighters don't want to fight each other, right? And people say, oh, because it's the middleman, it's the promoters, it's the other side of the street. But I never really believed that either. I just think that they don't want to take risks anymore. Like, when Canelo says he told Turkey, oh, it's not really in my heart to fight Jake Paul. But if that's the case, dude, why did you approach him in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, but now that Turkey, now that there's someone who has the interest of boxing at hand, he now doesn't want to see any of these exhibition fights. He now wants to see the fight the best, and I believe him because of one statement. He said that we can't waste any more time. He's right, because Bud and Canelo, I think, aren't they like over 35 years old? So like for Canelo, for that Canelo and Benavidez to be competitive, Canelo has to be at his best. It can't be when Canelo is like 39, 38 years old. It has to be now or next year, because he'll be out of his prime. So I'm glad that there's someone who's in the best interest, that there's someone who's acting in the best interest of the sport, because we all know the promoters aren't going to do that. I mean, if that was, say, Top Rank, they would definitely have taken that Canelo Jake Paul fight, because to be honest, yeah, that will make a lot of money. I reckon, in my opinion, it will probably do at least 3 million pay-per-views, right? But in for the interest of the sport, it's not a good thing. We don't want these exhibition fights, right, Shushan?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm only okay with this Jake Paul fight at the very end, guys, really quickly, because I do want Joe to come back. But let me ask you, Little Penny, he's got 4 fights, potentially anywhere from 400 to 800 million. Who are your 4 fights and what specific order? September is already spoken for. It's going to be Crawford. It's going to be Las Vegas. Fill in the other 3 fights.
Okay, this May one, I think it's going to be a tune-up. So I don't know who that will be, like in Billy, whoever, like Eubank Jr. I don't know. But so it would be that plus Bud. I would like him to fight Benavidez next, and then the winner of the and maybe Bivol, because they've got history. Baturbiev, dude, I think Baturbiev will kill Canelo at light heavyweight, because dude, that guy's got power, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got some insane workouts, man. You guys seen Baturbiev workout? He uses like 100 pounds and he just throws it up in the air. He's insane. Last but not least, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Little Penny, I know you watch a lot of football down there.
Dude, first of all, Jalen Hurts is hurt, right? And we all know running backs don't make an impact on Super Bowl. When was the last time a running back?
Little Penny, get the fuck out the panel now.
What about Christian McCaffrey? What about McCaffrey?
I think the Chiefs will blow out the Eagles.
Get the fuck out the panel now, Little Penny.
There you have it. Hey, Little Penny, come back if you're available. Come back on Monday. We're gonna have some more guests. Come back to the Shoe Shine on Monday, and I appreciate you all the way calling in from New Zealand. That's Little Penny, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Y'all the family.
What's that, Little Penny, all the way from New Zealand? Good to have him, man. I haven't had. That's the thing about boxing, right? Zelley, shit is international, man. You can get friends on YouTube from all over the country. Let's wrap up this boxing thing, guys. Obviously, Canelo making 400 to 800 million. Finny, what's his value? What's the value? What would you pay? You got all the money in the world under the Saudi fund, the Saudi investment fund. What are you paying Canelo for 4 fights?
I mean, I thought the deal that was put out there was fair, but I mean, they definitely he shouldn't have any control of who he fights. It should be whoever they say he has to fight. I mean, he should only have a say in weight class to me, but because he do a lot of ducking, and I mean that's his right, because they said Floyd did a lot of ducking. When you on top, that I don't know. I'm a Canelo fan, but I'm not, so it's hard for me to speak on Canelo.
Are you happy? At least he's not fighting Jake Paul.
Because I still don't say that that's dead. Because if they had, it's just like the Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. If they had talks, then it still could. It's not dead. I'm not saying it's dead. So just because they admitted to having talks, it definitely can still happen. Because the numbers, yeah, I don't know.
Zelley, 400, 800 million. What are you paying him, and what are the 4 fights you want to see? Obviously, Crawford is one of them.
He's worth every penny. He's at the top of the food chain. You hear everybody calling his name out. He's not doing nothing. Hey, Crawford did it after he beat Javante. He's fought nobody. But to get to the 4 fights, Like old boy said, I think he's doing a tune-up. I don't know who he gonna fight. Of course, he gonna fight Crawford. I think he's whether it be the third fight or the fourth fight. I think he gonna get Benavidez in there. I think he got to get Benavidez in there.
If he loses to Crawford, it won't mean nothing.
It will mean something, and I think I think a loss is gonna make the Benavidez fight happen even quicker. A loss
And
with
before
Canelo. You say
Drew?
something?
Oh yeah. Let's
I was
give
gonna
Drew a
say
quick
before you
opportunity.
get-
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say before you get to Drew, I think boxing finna get a black eye too. I know y'all heard about the Conti report. He involved with a lot of boxers, and he under investigation again. And I don't see nothing good coming from that. It's a lot of boxers that's under him, and if he under investigation,
You talking
they are
about
too.
Snack? You talking about Snack? I know Snack very well, Finny, because I used to work in the Bay Area, and actually a very close friend of the show is a Snack fighter. We definitely could get into PEDs, but I think we'll bore because that's for the hardcore fans when you start getting into PEDs. The good news is Ryan Garcia, if you're a fan, a younger fan, man, Ryan Garcia signed up to fight Devin Haney, and he's going to do the VADA testing, which is associated with Victor Conte. He's also saying he's going to do USADA testing, and that's a step in the right direction, especially since, Ryan Garcia just got busted. Drew, really quickly, what's your three choices, the other three opponents for Canelo Alvarez?
I think the first fight's going to be William Scar. The attempt to get the IBF title back to make it an undisputed fight with Crawford. I think after that, I think what Turkey was saying during the interview, he wants to make the Benavidez fight. It's something that he wants to do. But I think the first fight is going to be William Scar to attempt to get that IBF title back. And then I would like to probably see him. I like to see the Benavidez fight after the Crawford fight. Maybe the Bivol rematch, or maybe tell you the truth, maybe a winner of like an up and coming super middleweight after that. But there's not really a lot of names after the Benavidez, Crawford, or Bivol or Beterbiev after that.
Well, that's facts.
Charlo.
They did, Zelley, they did.
Charlo.
You want to throw that one into your selection there because Charlo is being spoken about. He did fight at 168. He didn't look great, but he is a well-known name. I'm going to give you guys my three names really quickly. Drew, I agree with you guys. William Skull is the IBF 168-pound champion. He only got that title because Canelo was stripped, because when you have the undisputed status, one of those sanctioning bodies is going to say you have to fight your number one contender, and Canelo's like, I don't know the dude. He ain't worth shit. He ain't going to bring nothing to the table, and he gave them the belt back. Now, Terrence Crawford is a once-in-generational type fighter. In my opinion, he should have been the predecessor to Floyd Mayweather. He's undisputed at 140 pounds. He's undisputed at welterweight. He's got a current title at 154. To make that fight with Canelo Alvarez special, okay, because now he just threw out the YouTube shit. We heard it today. Canelo says, I don't fucking fight YouTubers. All right, let's go for the history books. Let's go for legacy. Let Bud Crawford fight for undisputed, and to get to undisputed for Mexican Independence Day this year, Canelo has to fight that guy named Skull and get his fucking title back. That will make him undisputed again. Now it's interesting because whether you think that Bud Crawford has a chance against Canelo or not, he'll be the first African American fighter. He'll be the first American fighter to be potentially undisputed in 3 weight classes in the modern day 4-belt era. That's history. And I know there's some people out there that think Bud Crawford could pull off an upset, and there's some people who say he ain't going to last 3 or 4 rounds. That remains to be argued about. We're going to argue about that until September, man. That's what boxing shows do. The fact is, get that belt back, and let's run that fight with that 4 titles on the line. Let's make it special for Bud Crawford. By the way, Zelley, Bud Crawford is not going to take any fight. He said, I'm going to focus until September on gaining the muscle, gaining the agility at the weight. He said, I don't need a tune-up, man. I don't need none of that. I'm coming straight for Canelo. The other 2 opponents, the winner, look, David Benavidez this weekend, we said they stole his thunder. David Benavidez has a shot at the Dmitry Bivol Beterbiev winner. He is the mandatory. Enforce it, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Let David Benavidez fight the winner of that fight, and Canelo gets that as his 3rd fight. And he might not win that because Drew, I don't know. I'm going to ask Drew. Drew, does he beat Bivol? You already said that. No.
No, he doesn't beat
One of
Bivol.
you said Beterbiev is gonna fucking break his face, Canelo's face. Who
I
said
don't
that?
think he
Was that?
beats. I don't think. I didn't say he's gonna break his face. I don't think he beats
I think
Beterbiev.
Little Penny said that, right?
Yeah, he probably did.
And lastly, does anybody here think that David Benavidez loses as the younger fighter to Canelo Alvarez?
168, he loses. 175, he doesn't.
Hey man, I need to see that fight. That 800, if it's 400 to 800 million, you got to fight David Benavidez. The only thing that's pissing me off about this 4-fight deal is that Canelo's not coming back to Las Vegas in all of 2026. That's what the contract says. It says it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. We just lost the biggest, the biggest draw in Las Vegas fight scene is going to be fighting in Saudi Arabia, which means the UFC is the new king on Mexican holidays in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about that, but they're gone. Canelo's gone in Vegas.
There's one thing that people are not bringing up. This is a lose-lose situation for Canelo Alvarez when it comes to fighting Terence Crawford. Because he's not going to get the credit for beating him, but if he loses to him, they're going to say he lost to a smaller guy.
Stop it, man.
I'm sorry, that's the only thing that's bad
Bro,
about this fight. It's
stop
a
it.
lose-lose for this guy.
Stop it. That don't even make sense. Lose is crazy. Number one,
That sound
yes.
like that was the Canelo excuse that he made. Go ahead, Zelley. That was Canelo built that in people's head already. I'm too big for him. So but go ahead, Zelley. My fault. Eat him up. Pause.
Well, he's definitely too big for him. But all that the lose is crazy. Bud is a top fighter, and I got to put this out there. I did have Bud over Spence. Bud is definitely one of my top fighters in there. But the lose is crazy. He has to. It's part of history. Like a Mexican and a black fighter, we've always had those top dogs fight each other in boxing history.
Absolutely. And that Floyd Mayweather fight with Canelo Alvarez was the biggest pay-per-view of its day. I was there, man. That shit was, I could not get a cab out of the MGM Grand for like 2 hours. I'm like, we might as well walk to our hotel on the other side of the strip. That's how many people were at the MGM Grand, not only in attendance, but just there. Because they wanted to feel that.
You're a legend, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm for real, Finny. I never seen that. Aside from that fight, I never seen that. I'm gonna be real with you. I never ever seen that with David Benavidez. I haven't seen it with any fight that people just showed up to be in the building because they knew that there was gonna be celebrities, that there was gonna be fucking actors, there was gonna be boxing. I mean, people just wanted to be in the building when Canelo fought Floyd and Floyd took him to school. And there's always that passing of the torch. Always going to be a fighter that is that relinquishes the passing of the torch. Canelo eventually became the face of boxing, and he's got like how many years left? Maybe a year or two before he ain't no. David Benavidez said it this week. I'm the next face of boxing. He means it. David Benavidez says it. He means it. You guys are going to hate me, guys. I'm just going to say this shit is controversial, but I think for $800 million, you heard Canelo, you heard Jake Paul, nasty exchanges. And what's really happening is they almost signed the contract. They showed it. They said it almost happened. They're building that fight. And Turkey's probably going to have that fight on Netflix at the very end of this contract. Not good for the scene. But if it's Canelo's farewell feather fight, if it's his, hey, I'm retiring. This is my Conor McGregor. This is my Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor. I'm all right with it because there's some people in this chat that said, I hope he fights Jake Paul because I just want to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out.
We got to pray to God this fight does not end up like the Canelo Jermell Charlo fight. I hope to God it doesn't. I hope we get a complete. I think it's going to be competitive because Crawford has an excellent boxing IQ and footwork and everything. But I hope it gets to a point when he gets to that point that he needs to step up. He does not do what Jermell Charlo did and not engage just for a payday and everything. I hope he steps up.
Why would we take Jermell Charlo's path or even strategy in that fight? Why wouldn't we go to the wizard, the guy that we could probably imitate better than we could than Charlo? Why wouldn't we? Why? I don't think we would come in with that strategy. So I really think that he would come in with more of a Mayweather strategy. He not gonna try to knock. No, has Canelo even been knocked out? So it'll be more of a winning rounds. I don't think he's coming for a knockout. If he get a stoppage, it would just be because I mean, he was just too fast for Canelo, and it was just by punches. He would not knock him out or anything like that. So I
No,
don't
it's
think
not
that
going
would
to
be
be a
the
knockout.
strategy.
I think
No, I didn't say
somebody
he
went to
did. I'm
sleep.
just saying that
I think somebody
Charlo was
went to
more
sleep.
looking for a big shot. He wasn't looking to box all night or win rounds. He tried to do Canelo's fighting. He was gonna
His,
lose that way.
you want to know how I saw that fight with him and Jamal Charlo? When Jamal Charlo got knocked down, and he felt that power of Canelo Alvarez, and he felt that 168-pound fighter's power, he looked at it like this: I can't hurt this dude. I'm not winning. I just gonna survive to make my paycheck. Crawford, on the other hand, he's in order for him to win, he's got to be on his P's and Q's. He's got to be able to set up traps, to set up counter shots. He's an excellent counter puncher. And he needs to create angles how to land punches and reset and back up and reset himself constantly to keep Canelo on his toes to think about what punch to throw next. He
Sounds like
cannot
that's
let
what he
Canelo.
does every fight, Drew. That's every time I've seen Crawford do a fight. That's what he do. He make adjustments. He switch from southpaw, back and forth. Whatever he has to do to win rounds, that's what he do. And then by 8, 9, 10 rounds, it usually is enough. A com, Damn, my words, it's getting fucked up. But a accumulation of strategy that his opponents give in. You know, that's what the Crawford I know. I don't know any other Crawford. He does exactly what you said he needs to do every fight. We've never seen him not do that.
Also, if Canelo did fight the Charlo, he'd be fighting the other brother, not the one he knocked out. And also, we can't talk about what the Charlo did instead of talking about Berlanga. Berlanga, they was both scared of Canelo. Neither one of them came in there thinking they could win. They both know that they was gonna get their ass beat,
Yeah,
and they
it
both
was a game of survival. It was a game of
that's it
survival.
for
It was a
both
That's
moral
of
a
them.
sorry
victory.
fucking excuse of a fight.
That's it.
Well, I don't
And
know
I
why the
don't.
fuck
We
it
don't
is.
expect moral victories, but he would fight the other. He would fight the other brother, not the one he knocked out. Or yeah,
Yeah,
Knockout.
168 now, or he was the former middleweight champ. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I saw him fight on the undercard of Benavidez versus Bubu Andrade, and they're just not who they used to be. The Charlos. I'm just gonna say that.
one
They
of them
just
done meant.
they've had a
Yeah.
lot of problems, personal problems and whatnot, and they just don't seem to have the same passion. They do have some pretty good records on paper, and they are being considered, guys. I don't want to rag on Jake Paul too much, guys, because there's an upcoming fight coming up in Toronto, Canada. Joe Booney, if you're still listening, man, we're going to transition into that football talk and make it fast and talk some football. But there is a fight coming up. Let me just show you guys this one really quickly. This is a friend of the show that Drew and I have been following for over 3 years, pre-pandemic times, and he's headlining Jake Paul's card. He signed to Jake Paul. Shout out to Lucas Body and friend of the show. He's headlining this card on DAZN for Most Valuable Promotions. Lucas is 18-0. We met him pre-pandemic when he couldn't even fly into the U.S. and fight, and now he's been signed with Jake Paul. Jake Paul has turned this young man's life around. Voice of London Nationals, JB is joining. We got somebody random here, but let's. You guys want to pick up on somebody from London? Oh, come on, that's my boy Booney. Let's get into the football talk, guys. Let me pick up on Joe real quick. What's good, Joe? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. How are you, buddy?
All right, I think you want to go toe-to-toe with Drew. Let's talk about the key to victory. Key to victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're the hot underdogs. Drew, I'm going to start with you. Let's go.
4 quarters.
Let's
Four
go.
perfect quarters in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's the only way you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't get simpler than that.
Drew,
I don't think. Go ahead.
Let's start with Drew. Key to victories, and we'll let you have a rebuttal.
Anybody remember the Tampa Bay game, Super Bowl win? They broke the history. They made history. Tampa Bay's defense, 29 pressures on Patrick Mahomes, made it hell for him. Sacked him a lot. Made some bad decisions. I look at it like this: Patrick Mahomes, his offensive line is a little bit shaky. Got one guy shouldn't be playing that position, should be playing center. I think the Eagles have to get pressure on him and constant pressure. And that can happen. The Eagles defense is the youngest defense in the NFL, average 25 years and younger, by the way. I think that in order for the Eagles to have success against Patrick Mahomes, constant pressure, sack him, hit him, make that dude feel the pain, and it's gonna happen. They are gonna get to him. The question is how Patrick Mahomes is gonna react to it, and that's the thing. The last time he's been pressured that much, he did not do well. Now we gotta see, because he did have Tyreek Hill in that Tampa Bay game.
What
Now
Tampa
he
Bay
has
game is he talking about?
the Super Bowl
He's
with Tom
talking
Brady and
about,
the Tampa Bay.
when Tampa
Starting
Bay
up
and
the trumpets out
Kansas
here.
City had all their offensive line all injured. It was all their second
Oh,
line
okay. It was when they
playing.
right before they retooled the line. Okay, I got you. I remember.
But
But
I look at it like this.
I want to ask the host. I want to ask everyone that is listening. And this is for Sunday afternoon show with Jim Barker. And this is for especially Eagle fans. What adjustments will the Eagles make to counter the Chiefs' high-powered offense?
Well, I got an interesting question, Drew. This one worries me. Vic had the Italian guy, Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
Okay, defensive coordinator, right? Fantastic defensive coordinator. In fact, he went to the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, right?
He was a defensive coordinator for them too. I think he was a defensive coordinator when the Bears made it to the Super Bowl.
0-7 against Patrick Mahomes. So that's a very valid and concerning question, because I'm superstitious, man. 0-7, now potentially 0-8 and versus Patrick Mahomes. How does Vic get over the hump of being on the losing streak against Patrick Mahomes?
Well, no, tell you the truth, if you look at it like this, he hasn't blitzed as much as he does in the past. He called for blitzes and everything. He's a coordinator that doesn't really call blitzes, but he's been doing it after when the Eagles started 2-2. Began calling more blitz plays. He's been sneaking with Cooper DeJean as a corner blitz Zach Braun, maybe sends 5 in, maybe 6 in at a time. Sometimes it does the 0 blitz. Depends. I think that we've seen the Fangio defense at its best this year because they're a better cover unit. It's probably the best cover unit he's had in a while, besides when he coached Patrick Surtain Jr. But I look at it as you can dial up blitzes with this defense, but you can fake the blitz with. That's what he's been doing too, is faking blitzes. And I think that now, with how this defense is playing, I really think that if you get enough pressure on them, it's gonna cause some misreads. We got to look at it like this. You got Xavier Rovi out there, which is a really good speed receiver. He broke the record at the combine for the 40-yard dash.
Absolutely.
And everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna match that, and you got DeAndre Hopkins, his career hasn't really been the same.
No, in fact, Drew, speaking of DeAndre Hopkins, if you're looking at prop bets, they don't think he's going to score more than 20. He's not going to get more than 25 yards. If you want to put money on a prop bet, DeAndre Hopkins receiving 25 yards or more will pay pretty damn fat. You like that bet or not?
Well, honestly, ever since Hollywood came back, he haven't been getting that many touches. He actually
that's the thing too.
His snaps is way down since Hollywood came back. Was it the last game of the season or 2 games before the season ended?
Finny, let me ask you, Finny. Obviously, to get the lead, the Eagles are going to have to. Their defense. We just talked about that defense, man. They got to force some turnovers on a team that the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't really turn over the ball much. They don't make mistakes. Can they do that to jump the lead? Can they contain Worthy? Can they even contain the run? In your opinion, can they contain the run of Patrick Mahomes? Because Patrick Mahomes himself is a weapon.
I mean, the person you didn't even bring up was the killer that, I mean, he been having an off season, but Kelsey's a problem, especially in the Super Bowl. Kelsey's a problem. And yes, he can. Andy Reid is not losing to the Eagles. That's just not happening. Not his former team.
Is there anybody in the chat that wants to represent the Eagles other than Drew? I got faith in Drew. I need you to stop, Drew. I need you to stop the three-peat.
Well, here's the thing. If the Chiefs can't stop the one early, the game's going to be over. And I said this all 3 playoff games he was playing. If they cannot stop the one, this is going to be a bad game for the Chiefs defense. And if they haven't given up a 100-yard rusher in 18 straight playoff games, the Chiefs defense. But if that streak breaks and they cannot stop the one, you're going to give the Eagles a time of possession. You're likely going to give up big plays. And after that, you're going to open up play action, and it's going to be a big issue for this Chiefs defense.
The thing about it is all this can happen. They can have turnovers at the beginning and all that. But at the fourth quarter, if that man gets the ball down by anything less than 6, you in trouble. He could have only 100 yards.
Anything
So
less
You
than
are in
13.
trouble.
it is a problem. That's what I'm saying. It all sounds good. You throwing out all this stuff. You sound like you was either in the locker room or you been on ESPN set, but it all sounds good. But when it comes to the fourth, if it's coming down to the killers got to step up, we know one guy's got to step up. And again, I'm a neutral guy. Hurts is going to be a monster, but we've seen Matt. We've seen Patty do it.
We've seen him do it.
He's the closest thing to I've seen. I'm sorry.
Go for it, Joey. Go for it, Joe.
The only way the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win that game, they must score in every single drive, and they must lead in every single quarter, from number 1 to number 2 to number 3 to number 4. You got Patrick Mahomes. You think Barkley's going to run over 150 yards, 200 yards? Absolutely not. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know history is going back. We've never seen something like this before. We're going to see a 3-repeat. We're going to see Taylor Swift. We're going to see Travis Kelce propose. And there's a bet that's going right now. $13 makes $96. I'm telling you, this is Patrick Mahomes football. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles. I hope it's a good game. I might be wrong.
You don't say. You don't say.
I believe, and I see Andy Reid winning 3 Super Bowls in a row. And I'm sorry to say that, Drew, but
he's going to cement the legacy. Drew, I'm going to, in your defense, Drew, let's talk about Saquon Barkley and how insane of a weapon he is. He only needs 30 yards. He only needs 30 yards to break a record and potential. If he does 150 yards, guys, he's going to be the MVP. I think he's going to carry the Eagles over that hump and stop. And let me tell you, as a Niner fan, I can't afford to let Patrick Mahomes be up there with the great Joe Montana. And even with Joe Montana being a former Chief, I cannot have Patrick Mahomes on that esteemed list of quarterbacks to have 4 Super Bowl rings.
He's already there. He's already.
Oh, he get it.
He don't have four rings. He's been to the Super Bowl.
4 rings. He's beside Joe Montana. You got to put him beside.
Not this
Regardless if he did it this year, he gonna get to that 4.
He's a very young man. I'll say that. Let's see. D. Michelle, shout out to him. She says it's going to be hard for the Eagles to win, but I hope they win. There you go. We got some people in the chat rooting for your Eagles.
It's simple as this, Drew. You got to lead in every single quarter. You got to play. You got to play up to your level, and you have to show initiative. That's all it is.
I'm going to give you one name when it comes to this defense that's going to have a field day with that offensive line.
Go ahead, brother.
Jalen fucking Carter. The baby whiner.
Great defensive player. I wouldn't mind having him on my squad. That's for sure. Let's do some funny prop bets. Some player prop bets. Mahomes, 251 pass yards. Overpays -111. Underpays -115. How do you do that? More than 251 yards, Zelley?
More than 251? Yeah.
Let's keep going. Drew, over 251 yards. Patrick Mahomes.
I probably would do a sneaky bet, yeah.
All right. Finny, over 251 yards?
I'm going to go under.
Under. So you think his other weapons will get it done?
No, he usually get his rushing yards, so he gonna have over like 40, 50 rushing yards. So
That's right. These are passing yards. And lastly, Joe, passing yards.
Over 300 yards.
Over 300 freaking yards.
I'm taking 300 too.
This is Patrick Mahomes, man. I'll come back to this video. I'll screen record
Saquon Barkley, over 112 yards. The over is -111. Under is -110. They both pay well. Drew, how many yards? Over 112?
I bet it. I put this on my parlay. I said plus 140.
Damn.
He goes plus 140 on.
I take the over. I'm taking the over. Finny, Saquon Barkley, over. Overachieving, underachieving. He's underachieving at the greatest stage. He gets his 30 yards, right? He breaks the record.
Oh, he gets to 30 easy, but yeah, he won't touch 100.
All right, Vegas, that says over. And Zelley?
I say he get over 100 and 112, right?
Yeah.
Or just 100?
No, 112.
Yeah, I say he get over 112. He ain't getting no 130.
Everybody loves to bet on the bullshit bets. You know, they're called novelty prop bets. You know, the fun bets. You know, the ones that get grandma involved. The national anthem length. I don't know who's singing it. The over and under is 120.5 seconds. Anybody know who's singing?
That matters.
That matters.
Over, fuck it.
You're going over blindly.
It definitely matters.
Always go over. Black people go over their time. So if you're black, I gotta go over.
Well, it depends on the singer too. It depends on the singer.
Anybody know who's singing? Yeah.
It's gonna be over because they're gonna try to show off.
I hear you. Joe, over?
It's gonna suck. It's probably.
I think it's gonna go over. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna go over. But I'm not a big fan of these betting the national anthem. Never been a big fan of those guys.
This one is fun. If you're, Kendrick Lamar is out there, and people was telling me Lefty Gunplay is potentially going to come out there, and I think they're tripping. Lefty Gunplay is not coming out there.
Let's go Lefty. I fuck with Lefty.
So here's the bet for Kendrick Lamar. First song, Humble, plus 160. Not Like Us, plus 380. King Kunta, plus 430. Squabble Up, plus 430. Which one do you like, Finny?
I think he coming out with Not Like Us.
First song, that's a plus 380 right there. Zelley?
I'm seeing either you want to do Humble or King Kunta.
Joe, you like him?
Humble.
Drew?
I'm taking the big bet, King Kunta.
I'm going with Humble on that one. That's interesting. Now, last song, the one that everybody seems to go, Not Like Us is a -160. Would you think he finishes the show? Drew? Not Like Us?
Yeah, he's gonna finish the show with that. Get Drake's attention a little bit.
Oh, we got somebody who told us John Batiste is singing the national anthem. That's a guy. I don't know, but maybe that might change your vote. Last song. Is he?
Yeah, he got like a band. He got like, it's gonna go over because he got like a whole little. John Batiste is dope.
All right, last song. Finny, you want to get on that action? Is it Not Like Us?
Well, I thought it was gonna be first, so definitely not gonna be last. Nope.
Zelley?
I'm trying to. There's another song that he got outside of Not Like Us. I think Not Like Us might be second to last. I don't think he closes out with Not Like Us.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, Joe.
I'm gonna go with your opinion too.
This shit is funny, but you could bet that is Drake coming out with a song this weekend? Is Drake releasing a song? It's a -2200. Excuse me. Wait, I got this one fucked up. Yes is a plus 370. Is Drake releasing a song to rebut Kendrick Lamar on Sunday? A no is a -600. Yes, plus 370. Who wants to go first?
I go to rebut him. No.
He ain't releasing a song? Finny? Is he coming out with a rebuttal on Tuesday? On Finny Tuesday?
Yeah, he can come on the show. You're welcome to come on, Drake. I'll send you the link privately. So, gotcha.
Joe, is Drake coming out with a song?
He's not coming. He's too humble.
He ain't gonna rebut. And Drew?
No.
Hell no.
Obviously Kendrick is going to perform, but they usually bring somebody else on stage with them. And I mentioned Lefty Gunplay, Chicano rapper from LA. But he's not on the list. Baby Keem, plus 110, Lil Wayne plus 164, Future plus 184, Metro Booming plus 184. Who's coming out, Finny?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, Zelley.
None of them, but if any of them would, it'd be Baby King. He's on his label.
Joe,
Represent the Packers, Lil Wayne.
Drew.
Future.
I'm going with Future too, man, on that one. Those are just some of the fun bets. Obviously, you can bet on the bullshit ass Gatorade shit and all that. It's been a fun show, guys. I know I kept you guys till 9 o'clock. We've been doing this for 90 minutes. It's Friday night. I was hoping. I'm really disappointed, Finny. I thought we were gonna be able to stream it on your channel too, but because it's a new platform, who knows what happened with that bullshit, man. What's on tap? Are you doing a show on Sunday? I heard that you're throwing your own little tailgate party at home and maybe showing it on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, D-Ware got me. D-Ware coming over, so he said we streaming it. So I guess we streaming it. But yeah, I was thinking about throwing an after party to this, but I don't know. I'm gonna see how it's looking downstairs. Archives is all out, so I doubt if I don't know that definitely puts the chances down.
Oh snap! And sometimes it's like you got to look to see who the hell's live because there's just so many people. But that could be fun too, man. So keep tuned to Finny's channel, Finny the Legend on YouTube. What y'all eating Sunday? I'm gonna start with you, Finny. What if I went to your house?
Oh, we barbecuing some ribs, hot links, some burgers and hot dogs for the kids. My wife make these nachos that everybody like with the El Mexicano cheese. So we're gonna have the nachos with the El Mexicano cheese.
Shout out to Bubba. Fire.
Yeah, shout out to Bubbly. Zelley, you going over there?
I'm still up for debate. I might be, I got my baby on Sunday, so I got my daughter, so I'm figure it out. I'm figure what's going on. I don't know what I'm eating though.
Joe, you cooking anything special?
I am. We're having prime rib. We're having ribeye, and we're having beef ribs with homemade nachos with my mom homemade.
True.
But I do have to ask you a question. What platform do you use?
We're on YouTube right now. What you got there? That's the squares?
That's my Superbowl squares. We got some of the people from my channel on there. I'm thinking about running another one for my channel, but I'm a little worried if I can fill up 500 squares. That's why I was hoping that we would have the dual going to see if I had some interest, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's definitely try that again, Finny, and see what the hiccup was on that. I mean, maybe I'll try it with Drew's channel too before we go live next time. Drew, what you got cooking this Sunday?
I'm going to a Super Bowl party. They're probably gonna order some pizza. They're probably gonna have like some pretzels and everything. I know I'm gonna be drinking and everything.
That's what's up, man.
Probably telling some people go fuck themselves if they get mouthy with me.
Y'all gonna go crazy if you get the win?
Well, I'm going down to Broad Street, baby. Gonna grab some more drinks too.
Vegas used to be like my spot. When I didn't live here, guys, Vegas was my spot to come here and party with everybody. I would meet with friends that I don't see all year, and we would meet here in Vegas for the Super Bowl. And shit's crazy because I've never seen Vegas this cheap. Look at some of these room rates, guys. You can come to Vegas. There's some hotels for $69, $42. I don't know if this is a sign of something that's going on in Vegas, but the interest is really down. $29, $99. You can come to Vegas at the last minute. Planet Hollywood, $60. Caesars, $73. The Link, $29. This shit don't make no kind of sense. When we host,
it's DraftKings. It's all these betting websites. Before, like we were saying with your buddies, that was the only place you could really go get those prop bets and all that, unless you had an offshore account. I mean, now with all the different sites, why do you really need to go to Vegas? You can get the full experience at your house, really. The same bets, the same everything, but that's big on Vegas as an attraction, because that was like, that's the biggest gambling. I don't know if it still is, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest gambling weekend of the year, Super Bowl. I don't know if it still is, but it used to be. So where could you go gamble at?
What about March Madness?
No, I'm talking about as a single weekend, I think. March
Oh,
Madness, I think, is
Yeah,
a
March
home.
Madness is really a big time for Las Vegas. But you got a point, Finny. The deal is that DraftKings and even MGM Sportsbooks, you can gamble online now, and maybe that is starting to finally have an effect in Las Vegas, where people, they're just not going to come here if they don't need to. The parties start at $150 per person, unlimited food. That don't even come with your drinks in Vegas. So I could just see a lot of people staying home, chilling, man.
well, what day was that you were talking about?
What's that?
What day were those numbers you was reading out for
Oh,
what day?
let's just look at these. These were, I believe, for Friday and Saturday starting. Somebody posted this on Twitter that these were the rates for this weekend. Super low. I mean, ridiculously low.
False advertisement
Yeah,
as
there ain't
well.
even going on in Vegas this weekend. Usually when there's something popping in Vegas, I mean, you live out there, but I mean, the Super Bowl ain't out there. UFC's not out there. Like, there ain't really none too much just going on in Vegas now. So it would be,
You got
it
hockey.
would be too.
Yeah.
Shushan, man, you gotta tell us one time all the fights you've been to, man. That's impressive. Just the little bit that you told us today, man. I'm real impressed by that, man.
First time
That's some good
we
seats.
we saw Floyd fight in San Francisco, man. He fought at Civic Center in San Francisco. That when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, that was something else, man. That was something else. Y'all remember when he said Arturo Gatti was a C-class fighter? I'm like, no way.
showed
Come on, man. Arturo Gatti ain't no C-class fighter. All them wars he had been in, and then he I think he was that
Bro,
good.
that's one of the worst whoopings ever, bro.
He was that good,
Also,
made-
Shushan, you said something. I know. I you got to clear it up for me. Did you say that Benavidez and Canelo would be the best Mexican fight?
He didn't
Yeah.
finish. He
Yeah,
didn't finish. He
I
didn't
think
even tell us who he's going with.
No,
at this moment, this generation's fighters, I think it's going to be the biggest fight.
No, I said the
Financially,
best.
business.
Why? Yeah, but yeah, I was going to say you got Eric
Because that
Morales.
Vargas De La Hoya.
Oh no. We could.
Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales.
You mean
Yeah.
historically speaking? I'm talking about at the moment. The current crop.
I don't even know because there's been some. I done see some tough. Last year I seen some good Mexican fights. So it would. I don't know, man.
There's
It
a
would
lot of good styles make fights, right? And Pitbull Cruz,
Yes.
look, Pitbull Cruz got schooled. He lost his title. People didn't think Rayo Valenzuela was gonna beat him, but he did. He outboxed him. Robert Garcia he outboxed him. Pitbull Cruz can't fight against those type of guys. But he gave Gervonta Tank Davis the best fight possible. You put Pitbull Cruz in with a guy like Angel Fierro, who just fought him from TJ. You got fireworks. You got 1,400. You ain't got, and that's what the fans want. Fans want fireworks. Especially Mexican fight fans, man. Let me show you something really quickly. I'm gonna put this up here. Maybe you guys can see it, but this is the fight of all fights that since I've moved to Vegas, hopefully this is gonna play. There is no better fight that I've seen than Virgil Ortiz. If Terrence Crawford was not fighting Canelo Alvarez, he need to fight Virgil Ortiz.
He whoops him too.
This dude is a beast.
Virgil Ortiz whoops Terrence Crawford.
No, I said Terrence Crawford whoops Virgil Ortiz easily.
Okay, yeah,
You're a
you're
big
right.
boxing
Yeah,
fan, huh?
Yeah, guys, I had me and Fonzie and our crew, we had the most amazing seats. We were just like 5 rows back. This was the 12th round. They need to run it back. They need to run this back. Virgil Ortiz tasted the canvas twice, and he still somehow walked away with the win. I've never seen a better round.
He lost that fight too.
This had to be the best fight I've ever seen in Las Vegas, to be honest. Like right here, and I need to see them run it back.
I can't see.
What's that?
What was the fight? Who was the fight?
That was last year in Mandalay Bay.
We can't see it, Shushan.
I can see it.
I can't see
No,
it.
what's the name of the fighters?
What's that?
Bobacek
Oh, I see it now.
versus Virgil Ortiz.
Okay.
Yeah, Serhii Bohacek, man. He beat this kid Brian Mendoza on that Fundora card where Fundora won the title from Tim Tszyu. Both Fundora and Brian Mendoza, I interviewed them both that week. It's on my channel. Both of those guys are they're just really cool, honorable guys. There's a lot of fighters are just like really chill people, man. It's amazing. What makes people
Findora was supposed to fight Spence, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was. Look, here's a clip. Let me turn this off. So I met Fundora last year at the M.
Sebastian, how excited are you to fight tomorrow this Saturday?
Very excited. I'm very excited. You know, this is a big opportunity for me. 2 belts on the line. It's going to be big.
Timothy Bradley was saying how excited he was that you guys potentially could be a brother and sister championship team representing the Desert Valley. Is it likely? How excited are you about that, champ?
Very likely. Very likely. You know, this is a dream come true. My sister won her title 6 months ago. I'm going to win it now. My father's going to be crowned trainer of the year. This is big for the Valley. You know, the Valley's full of champions. We're just adding to it.
Yeah, jumping into this fight at the last minute, it seems like a blessing. More difficult challenge for Tim, who obviously was not preparing to fight somebody of your stature.
Yeah, it's very different for him, but for us, we were training for an orthodox fighter, a come-forward fighter, a knockout artist. So, you know, Tim Tszyu checks all those things. We're ready for whatever he brings on Saturday night.
You ready?
Yo, that kid is, he's just a fantastic kid. Let me get us all back on the screen here. That kid filled in, right? He wasn't supposed to fight Tim Tszyu. Now he's the world champion, and really he should be fighting Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford is on to bigger and better things, you know, Canelo Alvarez. But Fundora and his sister, first brother-sister world champions in the sport of boxing. Quite an accomplishment. Brother and sister world champions.
That was a great fight too. That Fundora and Tim, that was a good fight. But
bloodfest.
Fundora actually came up. I remember when he first came into sports, like he didn't learn how to use his link. He didn't know how to use his link when he first came in the game. Like now he know how to use his link. That's why I was scared for. Well, Spence gonna have a time, but I don't think Spence would have beat him. He know how. Now that he know how to use his length, it's gonna be tough for a lot of cats to beat Fundora now.
Crazy as shit, Finny. I know you love to talk on your show about height and size and right hands. That guy Fundora is 6'5". I think, no, fuck it. What is he, Drew? 6'6"?
6'6.5".
So I interviewed the guy who knocked him out. Brian Mendoza lives right here in Las Vegas. He fought on that same card. He ended up losing. He got beat up by Bohacek, the guy that Virgil Ortiz fought. But that guy, Brian Mendoza, is the only guy to have ever knocked out Sebastian Fundora 2 years ago. Was one of the biggest. He knocked that dude out. That dude fell face forward, man.
No rematch?
You think he can do it now?
Nah, you know what? To be honest, that guy Brian Fundora, after that win, he went on and had 2 brutal wars, and those kind of fights just take a lot out of a guy. I don't think so. I think Fundora wins the rematch, but yeah, Brian Mendoza is an awesome kid, and I stood next to him and Mario Barrios, and you guys know who Mario Barrios is. That guy's fucking huge. Mario, who he just had a baby, he got knocked out by Gervonta Tank Davis. Mario Barrios is like 6 feet tall. Bro, his shoulders are just huge. He really melts down. This guy is big, man. He's bigger than Brian Fundora. He's got to be one of the biggest welterweights. And that's just to give you an idea. Gervonta Tank Davis, 5'5", knocking out a guy who's 6 feet tall. I mean, Mario Barrios is a big guy. He's bigger than his friend, Brian Mendoza.
What are your thoughts on is it Tyson? It's not Mike Tyson.
Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury's retirement.
Drew, how many times have Tyson Fury retired?
I lost count.
I think this is
Time now. It's time now. Tyson.
But you know, yeah.
I used to when Tyson first. I don't even. But I'm still a Tyson fan. But it's time now. It's time. You don't have to love him.
Well, the Gypsy King recalled his retirement, and Klitschko's saying he's coming back at how old?
6. I think it's like almost 50.
He's 50. Klitschko's going to work with Turkey Al-Sheikh for a comeback fight. So
50 years old. He's undefeated.
He's one of my favorites. Both brothers.
Klitschko, they heavy-handed, man. You could just back in the day, you could see them punches when they hit people. You could just see the power. Like they used to just change the whole fight as soon as they touched somebody.
I still think Fury beats Joshua. Like,
oh yeah, Joshua, but not. What about Klitschko? He said Klitschko.
Fury with Joshua.
Yeah.
I was trying to say Joshua was going to fight Wilder.
Nah, he wouldn't have beat Joshua. Joshua would have beat Fury.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, Drew. I forgot to mention this. I showed earlier Debo Samuel's my 49ers, man. Off season, he's looking pretty thick, man. He's wearing your jersey. Not only him, but they interviewed Saquon, who I think is going to do pretty good. Saquon this week said, my favorite boxer right now is Shakur Stevenson. And somebody said, well, that makes perfect sense because y'all both the best runners in the business.
Shakur got a tough fight coming up too. That
Hell
young boy is
yeah.
a problem. That young
Hell
boy is a
yeah. You can.
problem.
Let me tell you guys. So one of the benefits of being local and going to all the small fights is that somehow I had tried to show a clip earlier. I had gone to the Cosmopolitan and we got ringside seats and they oversold the event. So they're like ushering me, trying to find me and my wife a couple seats. My other friends were on the other side. We only had the problem. They're like, fuck, we don't have enough seats. They sit me down to next to this woman who's screaming, that's my son. Yeah, come on. We're literally ringside, right behind. You guys see the commentator Sergio Mora and all that. I'm literally behind them. Do I have that picture? Well, it turns out it turns out it's Floyd Schofield's mom, and Floyd Schofield is the young man that's going to be fighting Shakur this month, and nobody thought he could get that fight. In fact, Oscar De La Hoya didn't want him to get that fight, and so we sat next to her and befriended her. And once you know it, we go back to see Floyd Schofield at the Cosmo. And guess who I get sat next to? Just ran. Not they didn't move us temporarily. Actually bought seats, and I'm sitting right next to his mom again. So let me show you guys this picture. So I'm trying to get her on the show before they fight, but I would love to have you guys all back, Finny and Zelley, because where's that picture at? I think she likes my friend, to be honest. I don't think she's with Floyd's dad. I don't think they're together anymore because she was flirting with him. Where's that picture at? She's too funny, man. His mom is funny. And it's like, she's talking about, I'm not even going to say it, but she want to party. She says she's down to get crazy the next time she comes out here. Where is that picture?
Oh, God. One of your friends going to be a stepdaddy.
Oh, no. That's the wrong pic. I hope I don't get in trouble for that one.
Yeah, what I miss?
Yeah. Kanye and his red carpet antics,
That was sick.
What the fuck?
That was sick.
I didn't see it, but I'm not gonna stop.
Man, what the fuck, man?
Your eyes hurt?
I'm not gonna shy away from a little.
But people say maybe it's time for Kanye to himself to walk around nude. Maybe it's time for him to walk around on the red carpet. Maybe that's next.
These women these days, man, have no respect for their bodies. Makes me sick.
It is pretty freaky. I'm sorry if y'all out there on YouTube land.
But you know what, buddy? There's no morals these days. Let's just put it that way. Absolutely no morals.
No Diddy.
I guess I did lose that picture. Damn. Anyways, guys, yeah, I have her on Instagram, and I'm trying to get her on the air if we can get Floyd Schofield. And I think hey, I would love to see Shakur Stevenson get clocked once or twice. He has some of the best defense, if not in his weight class, the best defense there is. It's going to be hard to touch him, but he's got the style, 100 punches. What do you think? What do you think, Drew? He gets outboxed?
I might fall asleep.
Sorry about that, bro.
Not with Schofield in there. I'm telling you. Watch that young boy get busy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is the fight right here. Floyd Schofield. Floyd was named after, obviously, Floyd Mayweather, and that's February 22nd on the undercard of Dmitry Bivol-Beterbiev. And he only got this fight because Shakur ran out of opponents, and Floyd was. In fact, I'm gonna be real with you. During the fight, they were live tweeting, and Shakur Stevenson was talking about, and they put it on the screen. They're like, "Oh, dude, this fight is hot ass." He fought a Mexican guy. It was actually a really entertaining fight, and I'm rooting for Floyd Schofield. Hopefully, we can get him on the air.
Bro, he's not even the main event.
No, that card is 20. How much is that fight, Drew? Pay-per-view. It's really.
I don't know, but let's just put it out there like that. Would you want that fight to be in a main event? Because tell you the truth, every time he made events, Shakur Stevenson, they're leaving halfway through that fight.
Now here it is, guys. I finally found it. This is Floyd Schofield's mom, and we can get in contact her with on IG. She just randomly sitting next to her twice, and I think she likes my boy Fonzie, to be honest, because they was hitting it up and drinking together and all. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest.
Yeah, Fonzie.
Take that down,
Okay.
So what's up, guys? I appreciate everybody joining us. Any final thoughts? I'll go around. Drew, people are doubting your team. You guys are only down by what? The negative 150?
I don't know, but I think I might have to holler at Schofield's mom.
Oh shit! You don't like? She's about 45. You all right with that?
Hey, I tell you the truth. Women that age nowadays look like they're like 20 something.
That's right. 45, the new 35.
That's the ones I talk to.
Dang, Susan, how old are you?
Mid 40s? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm late. I'm past mid 40s at this point, man. How I look though? How I look? Skin's holding up here compared to other YouTubers. This is about it right here, man. Got some skin that's sagging.
I don't think you do heavy drugs, man. You stay away from the heavy drugs. You can stay looking young.
I'm probably the baby one. Huh?
Still like 5-6 years older than me.
Yeah. Finny, how old is too old to get in the ring and squash a squabble? How old is too late?
It just matters that how old the opponent is. You're not supposed to be. I don't think you should be challenging nobody 10 years or younger than you, because you put yourself at a disadvantage. But I mean, if two guys in their 40s want to get in there together, I feel like you should be able to do it if y'all both in this. But I don't think a 40-year-old guy should be fighting a 30-year-old guy. I think the 30-year-old guy has an advantage.
No, I'm talking about like Vegas YouTube, like YouTubers in general, like celebrity boxing. How old is too old to get in the ring?
Oh, okay. I think it's more about conditioning and like lifestyles with that, because some of these guys do heavy drugs, they do cigarettes and all that. And as you know, boxing ain't nothing you play with. You could just run around and not even throw a punch, and after 1 minute, you ain't even threw a punch and you're gassed. So yeah, it just matters their conditioning and what drug they've been on in the last week.
Shout out to my boy Lettuce Market. I haven't seen you in my show. I appreciate you finally coming in here, Lettuce. Zelley, how old is too old to fight squash a squabble if you're a YouTube celebrity?
If you're a YouTube celebrity,
yeah,
there is no age limit. I mean, shit. Well, actually, I don't know how. I'm not really into this YouTube community as.
So here's the deal. Las Vegas has the most gyms from TMT. You got the Cuban gyms here. David Morrell's gym is here. I mean, everybody's, my boys, you got Bones Adam. You got all the best boxing gyms in the world. Some of them are right here. And I reached out to a couple to see what it would take to book a venue to squash a squabble. And they came back and said, well, shit, you're just going to have to rent out the whole venue, because there's no way that we're going to release liability when two old fucks in their 40s hurt each other and go to the hospital. So you'd have to rent out the whole building for the special event and handle the liability insurance yourself. That's just the way it is, Finny. So if we ever contemplated putting on a celebrity boxing event, you have to rent the whole venue and secure the insurance, because there's no way that they're going to take liability for people in their 40s. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to probably think that there's no way that most people would make it 6 minutes, 3 2-minute rounds. Drew, do you agree?
6 minutes is crazy. I said you got to drop it to like 4. Like 6 is crazy.
He said 2 rounds though, so that means
three rounds, 2 minutes.
That's crazy. You got to drop it for no cardio and just fresh off the couch. Y'all, them YouTubers,
that's gonna be so expensive. I've thought about this, Finny. As a promoter, I'm like, how many fights? If I'm going to actually book the venue and sell an event where I'm selling tickets, and you're going to have a bunch of YouTubers, and 6 minutes is about the max I think each fight is going to last. Well, how many of those fights do we got to make it worthwhile to rent the venue?
Right. Like honestly, like
you got anybody you want to fight, Drew?
You put two people like me and D Ware in there, one of us might get hurt because we pretty big. And like we both gonna be out of shape, so somebody gonna be throwing some thunder, and if somebody can't get out the way of it, something bad could happen. But if we both just missing, it's just gonna be boring. But
my boy Big Spooky in the chat, just like Mexican way for sure, man. He just says handle it at the park.
I don't know. Dave,
I was in their backyard. Shout out to homeboy in the chat. I don't even know what we do. We got backyards, we got parks. That joint is free.
You might want to ask your homeboy Raven Lunatic. He was talking about he has a yard near Fremont Street, Finny. You might want to ask him, can we use your house?
I look at it like this, man. I don't want to fight nobody. I got nobody I don't fight, but I know a lot of people probably want to fight me, but I'll tell you the truth right now. You want to sign a contract, you sign your death warrant.
Well, the way I see it is either Team Finny's going to play flag football versus the other team, or Veronica in the chat says add Kessel versus McLovin to the card and Jeepers versus Who I Be. So that's another 6 minutes plus 6 minutes. We got 12 minutes worth of fights so far.
I think as long as you're healthy,
What's
as long
going
as
on
you're
in
healthy,
Suns
you got a body that you work out every day. I think you're okay. I think you're gonna last.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show, Joe. I appreciate you, Zelley, too. Once again, Joe, let everybody know your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so anybody likes that sports, hockey, football, American football, anything we do trivias and all that, it's called Joe's Sports Channel on YouTube. And the Instagram is Joe the Fighting J. You guys are more than welcome. Every Saturday nights at 10:30, and I'm on live on television. Game Plus, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Rogers TV Flow for the London.
All right, what's your final prediction for the score Sunday?
I'm going to go 27-21 Chiefs.
All right, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Joe. I'm going to let you go right here and sign off with the rest of the guys, man. Take care, homie.
Take care.
Peace out, Joe.
I've known Joe for a long time, guys, from other podcasts, and he went to school for broadcasting, and he said, I'm gonna do it, and he got his first broadcasting gig. So shout out, he's doing his thing out there in Canada, young man. He's only in his 20s, said, I'm gonna be a broadcaster. He's doing it. You know, I'm not doing it. I'm on YouTube. Fucking amateur
Shout out to
hour.
Joe. Shout out to Joe, man. That's an accomplishment, man.
For real, for real. A final score, Drew, Sunday?
34-20 Eagles.
34-20.
They sacked him 6 times.
Fitty?
Yeah. Okay, Drew. I like that. You like it.
Yeah, I got 35-31. Kansas City.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Vegas vet. I like that score. I got. I'm praying for your team, Drew. Although I'll be honest with you, I really think you got an uphill battle. But I can't stand to see Patrick Mahomes join that list with Joe Montana. I just can't see it. I know he's going to do it someday, but not this time, man. Because as a 49er fan, they blew us out. The rematch didn't go our favor, and if the rematch don't go in your favor, then the fucking Chiefs are unstoppable. They're the new dynasty, right? I think 34-31, that's the score I'm praying for. Shout out to Vegas Fed. He says, shout out Shoeshine. Bro, I love what you do with the sweet science. Keep pushing. Please come back on Monday nights, guys. That's my regular Monday night boxing show. If it wasn't for Finny, I don't think that you would even know about us, man. So I appreciate you, Vegas Vet. Really quickly, y'all want to know what the new A's stadium is going to be looking like in Vegas? Because they released the sketch today. Next time you come to Vegas, this might be under construction. This behemoth of a stadium where the Tropicana was. These are the early designs put out there today. Here's the other design. Obviously, it's going to be covered. 2,000 parking spots. 2,000 parking spot for the Oakland A's stadium on the Strip. How you feel about that?
That's crazy.
I'll tell you what, them Uber drivers are going to make a shitload of cash. 2,000 parking spots. The rest of y'all got to start walking. In fact, I'm going to start walking tonight.
Yeah, I just got to say this. All that for a team that's going to suck for the next 10 years.
If anybody in here is a Dodgers fan, speaking of baseball, I wanted to show this, guys. They got a jersey, special edition, and I'm a Niners Giants fan, but this shit is pretty fly. Los Dodgers, and then on the back it says Lucha Dodgers El Campeón Mexican Heritage Night. That's a pretty dope jersey. If you're a Dodgers fan, make sure you get that.
So you be at the baseball games too, Shoeshine, or you just do boxing?
I can't get into baseball, man. That was my childhood sport, but I just can't into watching it. I know Drew's got a pretty good team. Oh, there's the grandson.
Phillies, baby. It's too bad they choke every year.
I didn't get to talk about this, and I know I'm trying to sign off, guys, but I want your opinions, Zelley. And Drew saw this, but last week, last week, I met a guy who is a reporter. And obviously we talked about boxing, that the bar for being a reporter in boxing has reached an all-time low. And I met a guy who was assaulted the week before by Diego Pacheco's team. Diego Pacheco fought at the Cosmopolitan. And here's a picture. This reporter, he's kind of a wild reporter. He does a lot of TikTok content. His name is Jeremy. I think Soriano. He's Italian. He's like mixed Italian. He's a pretty decent guy. I met him last week at the PBC workout. This is what it looked like. This is the boxers team taking a swing on him. They ended up pushing and shoving him. This happened about 2 weeks ago in Vegas. I wasn't there, but lo and behold, I met the dude on Wednesday of last week, and he was actually a decent guy. Is it appropriate? They said, "Ain't you the guy who be talking a gang load of shit? Hey, bro, we don't like the way you run your channel." Is it all right for a boxing team to assault a reporter?
No, I don't think so.
Who you ask? Assault assault is definitely no, it's not
Yes.
okay. It's not okay, but it is. I mean, it's your channel. You got to stand on whatever. Now, as far as them confronting him, as far as saying, "Hey, I don't like what they have they have every right to do that," but it's putting your hands on. Nah, that's not okay. But that's something if you talking that talk, you gotta be ready. Mine too.
So I meet the guy, and I was actually live streaming during the David Benavidez workout. That was on my live stream. I meet the guy live, and I asked him. I said, "Yo, bro, you don't have to say it on my channel or anything, but are you gonna pursue litigation? I mean, because this is kind of sets a bad tone, sets a bad precedent in the future with boxing media." Well, media, I say media loosely because you saw the shenanigans that happened in the sport of boxing this week. One reporter, including Mike Coppinger, who works at ESPN, he goes and tells everybody the fight with Jake Paul's done, and the next day he's saying it's not done. So it's like the boxing media don't have any credibility, but do they at least deserve to be protected? I mean, do you at least have the expectation to go and interview fighters and not get fucking punched?
Well, you gotta be better with that. You gotta be like the approach they should have taken. I'm not gonna do no interview with you. I'm not gonna answer no questions with you. Like, should he be sued? Yes, he should. Pacheco should be sued for that. Like, you put your hands on him and sue him. So, it's like how it is. But like, end of the day, yeah, he talks shit about the dude on his channel and everything. But there's other ways how to handle that. Like, I'm not gonna answer none of your questions and anything to avoid the situation and avoid repercussion. Now, not only his team and his manager got to deal with repercussion, but the dude's promoters got to deal with repercussion because it's at his event. At the end of the day, they got to be better how they handle it. Be more professional.
Big Spooky says,
I'm not gonna say that boxing media went to an all-time low. It just really depends on who you're listening to and I guess what you really prefer. But and honestly, a lot of this shit been going on behind the scenes for a long time. It just so happened that we caught one on camera. Well, I didn't even see the video, but I can't even necessarily give a breakdown because I love playing devil's advocate and I'm a neutral party. So if I can't see who was wrong or who was right and who started it, but yeah, the media is cool now. It definitely it's just changed, man. Like boxing we don't even have. It doesn't have all the platforms it used to have, so it's difficult to actually get some good. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but you kind of get what I'm saying.
Well, basically, the media is scared of all of stuff like this. Like, there's YouTubers now that platforms are bigger than actual media shows. So, like, the media has changed so much now that you can come on here just like Shoe Shot and shoot. In reality, in 3 months, Shoe Shot could be just as big as your local.
I've been waiting, Finny.
Yeah, it's coming, bro. Just keep grinding.
Today is a step in the right direction. I appreciate it. Scanty Warrior said, "Why is Canelo ducking Benavidez?" Man, that's the great question. That's the question everybody wants to know. Well, is it going to continue? And they
Well,
also
this is
said,
the thing, Shushan, as a Mexican, how do y'all feel about it? Because like my Mexican homeboys, like or even Yayo, he was so pissed at Grant. Like Mexicans have certain standards that they stand by, and like certain stuff, and like ducking is not one of them. Like they'll take an ass whooping before they take a duck. And how do y'all feel? I mean, it's clear that he's ducking. I haven't really heard many people defend him to say he's not ducking. How does the
I
Mexican
he
community feel
ducking.
about that? Because they behind both of them. So how does the Mexican community feel about
you asking me, the only Mexican on the panel. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna agree with you that he's done everything capable that he's capable of doing to avoid fighting him. And that's why I give a lot of respect and props to David Benavidez from Phoenix, Arizona, because he gave up. He said, fuck this. Here's my interim 168 title. I'm gonna write my own path. I'm going my own way. I'm gonna set my own legacy. And he's been doing that successfully in Las Vegas. He's now headlined 3 cards in a row. And from 12,000 people, I just said he sold out 12,000 seats to 18,000. He's getting there. In another year, if he beats Beterbiev, Bivol, he's going to be the next Mexican face of boxing. So it's up to Canelo whether or not he's ready to hand over that torch. At some point, Canelo's going to have to say, I'm going to take the fight. If I lose, good job, young man. I did a lot in the sport. Good job. And pass the torch. So what's up, Drew?
I look at it in a couple of different ways about it. Like, why has he been ducking this fight for so long? But I just think the fight should have happened a couple of years ago. But I always said that the later the fight, the more he waits, the more of a disadvantage for me. Are we gonna see it? I'm at like a 30% chance that we actually see the fight, as of right now. But I'm kind of used to not seeing the fights we want to see already. That's how the sport's been for the last 15 years, if you look at it. But I think that hopefully... I didn't hear you.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I think that hopefully there's a turnaround with big fights being made. And if there is, maybe we can have it. Maybe it's not too late to save the sport. Maybe it kind of is too late to save the sport of the years of the past misguidance of careers.
Sad state of affair.
I don't think Canelo's ducking. I don't think he's ducking Benavidez. I just think it's all about timing. It's especially now in Canelo's career, it's all about timing. Floyd did it to him. Like it's happened to all nobody even said nothing about Boots. As much as Shakur might not be a great draw, they've been ducking that boy for years. Like so, it's just all about timing. That's where I'm all about with it. It's about timing, and I think if Jake Paul fights Canelo at this moment, boxing is dead. Boxing games, it's getting better. We could thank Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia for that. Before them, we didn't see 2 top dogs get in the ring. If it wasn't for Ryan Garcia and Gervonta, we wouldn't have seen an Earl and a Spence. Now we're gonna get to see a Canelo. Now we're gonna get our one-offs down the line. It might take a while, but I believe we're gonna see Canelo and Benavidez. It'll be before that Jake Paul fight. I tell you that.
See, with Canelo, most Mexican fighters, well, not most, but De La Hoya beat Chavez. That's the passing of the torch. Canelo never had to he got the torch handed to him. And that's why he don't know how to hold a throne at the end. Oscar was willing to take a loss at the end to lose his torch. But one thing about it, he was fighting all the tough Mexican fighters. And that's why I respect Oscar, even though a lot of people don't like him because he's on that powder. But I fuck with Oscar.
Oscar didn't duck nobody. That's facts right there. Oscar ended his career with 6 career losses. He didn't duck the Puerto Rican. He didn't duck. He didn't duck anybody that at their all-time great. He took the fights when the other opponents like Sugar Shane Mosley were at their all-time great. And he did it at multiple weight classes, and because of that, he ended his career with some sizable number of losses. But he's also the youngest. He was a gold medalist and the youngest world champ, one of the youngest world champs. So his legacy is someone else.
Everybody. He didn't duck. He fought Trinidad. He fought Floyd. He fought who did you just name? He fought Sugar Shane. He fought all the top dogs. He ducked no one. De La Hoya is my guy. He's my guy.
Hey, if you want his house, man, you could buy it. It's up in Henderson. I'll take you right up there. 16 million is the asking price. 16 million.
Go ahead and hand it to him. Hand it to your number one fan. Well, not number one fan. Pause. Let me take that back.
Finny, you see No Pasa Nada, the Cadillac family? He knows Oscar De La Hoya. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, hit him up, man. He'll take you up to the mansion.
Oh, man, they need to take me over there, man.
Just let you know, the woman is not included.
Oh, damn.
You said a woman?
His woman is not included in the house.
With the sale, he's saying Oscar's a girlfriend ain't included in the purchase price for 16 million. Devin Haney's house is also for sale for a whopping $5 million, and they in the same neighborhood. So if you ask me, Oscar's house is a little overpriced at 16 million. You could buy Devin Haney's house right now for a cool $5 million.
That's 3 times more. Oscars is. How much bigger is it to be 3 times more? I don't know what's the better.
Y'all gotta go ask my wife. My wife knows. My wife, the realtor over here, she know all the square footage. She'll tell me right now square footage, property lot size. It's a third of the price, and you know the thing is, guys, Devin Haney's daddy hates Oscar. Right now, they're still beefing, and I think they don't want to live in the same neighborhood anymore. I think that's what it is.
You know what? I'm hearing you can get a discount on the house on Devin Haney's house if you tell him he's Wassa.
If you tell him what?
He's Wassa.
Man, hey, I appreciate you guys. I know you guys probably got to go and spend time with the family. Finny, I'll see you on Tuesday nights, man. Zelley, I appreciate you. I'll also see you on Tuesday nights. You guys welcome to try this experiment any other time, man. Thank you to everybody in the chats. Friday night, you could be watching a million other things. Dave in the 702 Shoe Shine, Drew Evo, good luck. Fly Eagles, Finny. See you guys on Tuesday. Zelley, peace out, guys. Appreciate y'all.